This your boy Diddy Knows Ball back with another video. Say, man, I did not see these upsets coming. So the Blazers just upset the Spurs, and the 76ers just upset the Celtics. Both seven seeds taking down two seeds. And this was good basketball. You had VJ Edgecombe going crazy for the 76ers. You had Scoot Henderson going crazy for the Blazers. And I'm going to go start with the Blazers and Scoot because this one comes with a little caveat. Victor Wembanyama only played 12 minutes, 5 points, because he did go down early with a concussion. But that can't take away the fact that Scoot was amazing. Scoot ended the game with 31 points, 11 for 17 from the field, 5 for 9 from three. Um, he just was getting buckets. And this was very important because you had Denny Avia, who didn't have the greatest game. You had Drew Holiday, who didn't have the greatest game, even though he did have moments, but he was overall inefficient. And he's a notorious playoff dropper outside of that Celtics run. But I just thought Scoot, because it was nobody else who was like a 20-point scorer. The highest scoring guy outside of Scoot for the Blazers in game two was Drew Holiday with 16. Now they only did score 106 points. So, but hey, Scoot had 31 of those points. And I think this was just a big game for Scoot just because I ain't gonna lie, he was trending towards being a bust. Scoot was trending towards being a bust. Let's just keep it a buck. And then game one, he also looked good. He had 18 points and he was 7 for 11 from the field, 2 for 4 from three. And I just think Scoot is kind of turning the corner. He was a defensive force too. Scoot was an absolute defensive force in game two. Like getting his hands on, he was stopping lobs, getting blocks. Like Scoot Henderson, he looks completely different. I want to start with Scoot Henderson because coming into this series, I thought the Blazers was probably gonna get like one game, but I also thought they could potentially get swept. But Scoot Henderson, say, man, because I was looking at the matchups and I was like, I want to see what Scoot Henderson and Shaden Sharp do against Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper. Now, when it comes to the starters out of those two, Scoot Henderson and Stephon Castle, Scoot Henderson eating his lunch, man. Scoot Henderson just eating his lunch because, like I said, in game one, Stephon Castle, he had like 17 points. He was like 4 for 13 from the field. He hit a three and 1 for 5 from three. Now that I'm looking at it, and that just wasn't good. And in game two, what did Stephon Castle do? Game two, I'm pretty sure he was, Stephon Castle, he had 18.7 for 22 for 6 from three. Now, I just didn't have it on my bingo card. Scoot Henderson outplaying Stephon Castle, Shaden Sharp and Dylan Harper. Eh, Dylan Harper has looked better. Shaden Sharp was absolutely terrible in game one. Game two, he didn't take a lot of shots, but he was overall efficient. I think he needs to be more physical as a defender because he's always in the right spot. He's keeping up, but he just doesn't have that physicality on defense. That's my problem with Shaden Sharp from what I've seen. But the storyline of this game, because even though Wemby went out early with a concussion, Scoot Henderson pouring in 31 points while the rest of his teammates was playing bad, other than in like here and there moments. I thought that was big for them. So shout out to Scoot Henderson. He got a chance to beat them bust allegations, man. So shout out to Scoot. He looked good in game one. He looked amazing in game two. And I think so far he's outplaying Stephon Castle. Nobody had that. Now, moving on to the game two upset where Philadelphia took care of Boston 111-97. This was more impressive, in my opinion, than the Blazers upset because, like I said, Wemby went down. The Celtics, they were healthy, and the 76ers don't have Joel Embiid. Now, what I've thought about from this game was from the gate, BJ Edgecombe, he just was, hey man, different level athlete, different level of aggression. He went 6 for 10 from three. He had 30 points, 12 for 20 overall from the field. He had 30 points and 10 rebounds. I thought he played amazing. That third quarter, him and Paul George put on, uh, they went crazy. Paul George, it was in his rightful spot as the third option. I did think that the shot diet between Maxey, Edgecombe, and Paul George was on point. Tyrese Maxey was kind of scaring me for a bit there, but like that fourth quarter, he turned it on and he damn I think I forgot he had I know he had 2 back-to-back threes, but he went on a run by himself in that 4th quarter, and I thought that was very important because I was thinking about Massey because that game 1 was just it was diabolical how bad game 1 was for the 76ers. How those games on Sunday period were bad. So, yeah, those were some bad games on Sunday. So, I was happy that we got a slate of games like this so far with these upsets from 7 seeds. The 7 seeds upsetting the 2 seeds. So, I don't know. Hey, Adem Bona is garbage. I just had to throw that out there. Like, I know nobody asked, but Bone is guarded garbage, and his minutes was I give Drummond those minutes, please. Can we give Drummond the Adem Bona minutes? Because Adem Bona just I don't know. He's not meant for playoff basketball. But yeah, Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. Tyrese Maxey had 29 points, 11 for 28, 5 for 12 from three. He also did have 9 assists and 1 turnover. So I thought Maxey finished strong. VJ Edgecombe started strong. Paul George in that 3rd quarter, he was amazing. Um, for Boston, I can't put my finger on it, but something just didn't look right. I mean, Tatum, it felt like I, I don't know. It felt like Tatum was doing the most. 5 fouls, 3 turnovers. He was 8 for 19, 2 for 8 from three. I feel like Tatum was just pressing. I thought Derek White was garbage. Peyton Pritchard hasn't had a good game yet. So the Celtics, this was an alarming game. You could probably just make it say, well, you probably just can say they missed threes because I think they were like between Tatum, Brown, and White, I think they were combined 9 for 30, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, anytime something like that happens, it's just not gonna be good. And Peyton Pritchard also missed 4 threes. So between the four of them, they were 9 for 34 from uh, yeah, it was bad. They shot 26% from three as a team, the Celtics did. So I think we've been had this problem with the Celtics. Anytime all in it has a potential of looking bad. And I think tonight was one of those nights. And the 76ers actually shot it. They shot it overall, they shot it pretty well. So I mean, I don't know. I I I don't know how real this win was for the 76ers, but it was a real win, if that makes sense. Now the series is tied going back to Philly. I don't think they ruled Joel Embiid out. So I'm not sure how game 3 will go. I have to wait to see who's playing, who's not, and so things of that nature. But if the Philly can get another game at home, if they can split it, yeah, they just gotta split at home and then see what happens. I can't expect the Philadelphia 76ers as currently constructed to beat Boston 2 more times in a row. But like I said, anything can happen. Um, I gotta see it. Uh, and I'm just trying to think because I want to be careful with how I talk about Boston and I don't know. I Everybody that knows me knows I want Jalen Brown to have his own team. I think he'll be perfect in Atlanta. Jalen Johnson is not a go-to scorer, even though he's a great player. I think he'd be a great complementary player to Jalen Brown. I still think they will be able to continue in the East together, depending on the trade package. But I don't know. I don't want to start the Tatum and Brown can't coexist. I just think you might as well choose between one of them and get a crazy package for the other one, and they're both number one. They could be championship number one. So I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping because the Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Cater, like those guys just not good enough. Those guys not good enough. I don't see Boston winning the championship. Maybe I'm tripping, just overreacting off this one loss, but one loss was alarming. I'm not gonna lie. But going back to VJ Max, Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, I did have this question. Does Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe have a higher ceiling than what Dame and CJ had? Dame and CJ was a great backcourt, a little small on the smaller side. They did get to a conference finals, but I'm just trying to see what kind of ceiling Maxi and VJ have because I do like the duo, and I'll be interested to see how they grow into the future and what they put around them. But this was a great win for the 76ers. Like I said, I think it was more impressive than even the Blazers win. But I think I was more impressed with Scoot out of everybody in these upsets just because he's coming off back-to-back games. VJ did stink it up in game one against the Celtics, and they got blew out and he did bounce back with an amazing game. But right now, I think Scoot was the player of the game. But I did think the 76ers win overall was more impressive. But two impressive games in game two by the number 7 seed and the Philadelphia 76ers and the Portland Trail Blazers. And I just want to know what y'all think because I thought, hey man, I didn't see these upsets coming, but I'm happy they came. Whoa. But yeah, shout out VJ Edgecombe, shout out Scoot Henderson, shout out Tyrese Maxey, shout out Paul George. Uh, just great games, great games. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what he knows ball. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you like the video, please hit that like button, comment, whatever your thoughts are. But yeah, till next time, I'm going out.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.